Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Friday Night Comics. It's Friday. I read comics. How's it going, everybody? Let's see, Johnny Hellcat and Random American, Dark Resurrect, James Colley, how you doing? Viking, good to see you. Evolved Potato and Shady Grin looks like he was first. You guys all having a good night out there? Will there be actual comics? No, not really. We're just talking about them. Evening, old guy. How you doing? We're back to being a little low tech since my HDMI port went out. So we're going to just be using one screen. So it's going to look even more primitive than usual. Hey, Tristan, how you doing? Well, I fumble through this and everything looks really, really ghetto. So we'll start with next week's comics. We've got some crazy, weird news going on. Some of it's not that crazy, but the rest of it's bad. Yeah, the actual port went out, and it's making it difficult for anything to be hooked in. And I can't really afford to replace it because, well, why? I mean, the laptop's like 5 years old now, so probably be almost more productive just to buy a new laptop. Take a look at your toaster. Well, apparently worth around. Wow, nice. Very nice, Dark. Very nice. In the ghetto. Yeah, I'm running a very duct tape operation here, man. I'm not ashamed to say that I am a bit on the primitive side over here. So next week's comics, let's start with DC. There's not a lot going on here. We got apparently upcoming. There's going to be like a whole bunch of Batman crap. So we've got Batman 109. I'm probably going to buy that. This is obviously leading into Future State. So they're going to get Lucius Fox's kid in as Batman and replace Bruce Wayne. So yeah, they're leading up to that, and I couldn't tell you how little I care about that storyline. So if they're gonna do that, I'm probably checking out of most of DC because most of what I'm still buying is Batman stuff. So Batman 109, I'm gonna pick that up. The cover looks pretty good. Batman Catwoman, no. This is an alternate universe story. This is Earth 2, I believe, and it does have Phantasm, but it's written by Tom King, and that weepy crybaby that needs a therapist, not a fucking comic series. So I'm not going to buy it, despite the cool-looking cover. Batman Fortnite, I am going to pick that up, just because, why not? I got the first 3, and they're just sort of sitting here. I don't know anything about Fortnite, but I've heard it's a pretty good story. So I'm going to pick that up. Batman, The Adventures Continue. No, I don't care. This was garbage. This was really lazy attempt to cash in on the animated series. And that's trade paperback collecting the first storyline, and they're starting a new one. They call it Season 2. Comic books aren't seasons, you guys. TV shows are. And that should tell you exactly the kind of quality you're probably going to get. Plus, this looks really, really dumb. I don't know how this guy keeps getting work. He's not that good of an artist. He's got this weird abstract quality that people really seem to enjoy for some reason. I absolutely hate it. I think it's trash art. There's a new Catwoman graphic novel aimed at young adults. It looks really stupid. Even though it's written by Louise Simonson, I'm not interested at all. Crime Syndicate's been pretty good. I don't like villain books, but this one's actually been pretty good. So I'll probably pick that up. Crush and Lobo. I don't care about this character. She's just a lazy character. She's not interesting. And Lobo was really best done by Keith Giffen. Conjuring, I'm sure this will be fine. I'm just not going to pick it up. Green Lantern, I'll probably pick this up. First couple issues were pretty decent. So I'll probably get that just to see if this story is actually going to go somewhere. It's been kind of weird, and overall, it's not bad. Harley Quinn, black, white, and red. I don't care. I don't care about Harley Quinn. I'm sorry. I'm sure Quiz will like it, but the art looks okay. I just don't care about that character at all. Justice League. It's written by Michael Bendis, so no. Crypto, no. But at least they're doing like a kid's book. Man Bat, that's a cool looking cover, but the interior art does not match anything remotely like this. This looks like Kelly Jones art, and it's by a different person. I forget his name, but he's pretty good at copying Jones's style. But the interior art is not good. Squad, I don't care. I've heard these are okay. I'm not picking up more DC stuff. The prices are getting out of hand on these. If this loads, we'll look at that. Sorry, I can't read the chat while I'm doing this because of my setup with only one screen, so I apologize on that front. Okay, that's not going to load, so screw it. Superman, the Man of Steel. This collects a bunch of the John Byrne stuff and Jerry Ordway era. These are great. There are some really good Superman stories in this. And if you're tired of Bendis's nonsense and the modern virtue signal crap, this is great. This is volume 3, and it's $50, but it's a hardcover and collects a whole bunch of stuff. So absolutely worth checking out. But it's $50, so I'm not going to get it. Get it off in stock trades for a couple bucks cheaper, or half price trades, and you'll be able to save a couple dollars. Even Amazon will have it cheaper than $50. The Flash, Death of Iris West. This was a really good storyline that they've retconned. Carrie Bates was a really solid writer, so this was a good story. But again, another expensive one. The Nice House on the Lake. That's just a TV pitch. Or movie pitch. I'm not that interested. It looks like it's an interesting horror story, but yeah, I'm not very interested. Swamp Thing, they've replaced Alec Holland with somebody else and teaming up with Poison Ivy. No interest in that. Yeah, so Suicide Squad. Here's only $4, so it's not bad, but I'm still not getting it. So that's DC. Let me jump over and visit you guys for a second. How's everybody doing? Once a comic reaches novel price amount, right? How you doing, Oki? Yeah, there's a point where you're just asking for way too much. And that's pretty much where we're at right now with comics. This $5 and $6 thing, way too expensive. Every comic I'm getting from DC is $5. So I'm only getting 4 as well. I used to be able to get an entire allowance worth of comics, which would have been like an entire month of Marvel, and still had money for some Garbage Pail Kids and a couple of sodas and a candy bar or two. So I'm getting Batman Fortnite, Crime Syndicate, and Green Lantern. Those are all $5 books. That's a bit much. Marvel's not much better. So let's get into the rest. Yeah, Quinn, you're exactly right. Why would I ever pay $5 for a comic? That's way too much. Yeah. And the sad part is a lot of these will be in the dollar bin a month later because they're not that good. They're at best readable, mediocre, middle of the road, but forgettable at the same time. And you'll need to buy an entire story arc if you want to enjoy any of it. There's no self-contained issues. At that price, they should be like 50 pages. But it's all about taking advantage. Excuse me a second, I have to blow my nose. Yeah, Oki, they've absolutely forgotten what made comics popular was they were a children's medium. And they really need to get back to that because they are bleeding money like crazy. And their idea is very similar to the government's notion of just tax some more. So they think they're going to bring people back by continuing to churn out mediocre product and raise the price because then it'll be more adult. I don't know. And we'll see some articles on the way that they're acting in the comic industry here shortly. Hey, sorry, Amantine. I'll gladly wait for them to reach the dollar bin to ignore them. Yeah, pretty much. When I was buying comics as a kid in the 90s, I would spend $20, $30 a month as a very, very poor kid. Yeah, same here, man. I would have to do chores and stuff like that for money. When I was in college, I had to have a job, and even then I was still able to afford a big stack of books on 20 or 30 bucks a month. And now, not so much. So what is a reasonable price for a page count? Well, the average comic is now 22 pages. And for me, that's $2 at best. I prefer to think of 32 pages for $2.50 being a pretty reasonable cost adjusted for inflation for what we were getting as kids. But apparently the comic industry disagrees. And they seem to think $5 or $6 is okay. Yeah, you should probably be concerned, Ryan. They don't tell a story in that space. Look at the X-Men. There is 3 to 4 completely white pages with just like little basic info things, like who wrote the book. 2 pages, a 2-page spread with a big logo and the indicia, and who wrote the book, and the characters that are in it. 2 pages wasted right there. Then there'll be like 1 white page with some text on it telling you some background on something. That's 3 pages out of your 22, maybe 24 pages if you're lucky. There was a book advertised the other month that was bragging that it was 24 pages of comic. And that's a slap in the face. Because if you're lucky, they're 24 pages of content. Most of them are down to 22. That book, Inkblot, while it is a pretty entertaining book, is only 20 pages. And it's $4. That's a ripoff. Alternate books are like $2, and you get way more content than that. So say what you will about Alterna, they at least give you value for the dollar. Oh no, they don't do any of that anymore, random. Yeah, okay, they have to stretch it out because they're writing for the trade paperback and they want everything to be a 5 or 6 page story arc or more. So they have to drag it out. You always get these padded pages. Radiant Black #2 was my best recent example, which I really need to post that review. There was, I believe, 6 pages of wasted space where people are eating. It was like 4 or 6 pages. I don't remember if it was 6 or 8 pages, but it was like, I probably just look. I got the comic sitting over here somewhere. Hold on. I'm going to pull it up because this pissed me off so much. Dead air. Woo. Oh my God, content, as Sin would say. Yeah, so Radiant Black has 3, 4, 5, 6 pages at the beginning of the book to tell me that this guy came home and had oatmeal with his dad. And they argued about him getting a job. 6 pages to tell me that. In the old days, that's at best 2 pages. But then, at the end of the book, there's 2 more pages of them sitting down and having oatmeal. Again. So it came full circle. Yeah. 8 pages of that. What a waste of paper. What a complete waste of time for the artist. It's not exciting. It's fucking boring. Hey, Zombie. Hey, Browncoat. How you doing, man? Yeah, it made me really, really irritated because the core story isn't bad. It's just taking forever to get anywhere. and they're just padding it for the trade paperback, which is what people like Robert Kirkman are known for. They drag out a story so they can get the whole arc in a trade paperback, and they get more money out of that. They get more longevity. They can get it in more stores. Why don't you just release it as a graphic novel if that's what you're going to do? It would make more sense. Instead, they want to drag it out and milk the money out of the fools that'll buy every single floppy and then the trade. And I admit I've fallen for that too. Like, okay, this is going somewhere. I'll give it another issue. No, just buy the fucking trade. Oh, Quinn, we've got an article or a story on heavy metal. Just buckle in, kid, because it's gonna get pretty crazy. Micronauts 2 and 3. Oh, nice. The classic story, classic stuff. Good times. Well, yeah, the price of these things is unbelievably astronomical, and the more they're flailing, the worse it gets too. Yeah, I just picked up. I see exactly what you're saying, Oki, and I completely agree. I just picked up a copy of Contest of Champions for $8. It's a new release. They re-released all 3 issues as an $8 book, and you know what? Those issues go for about $7 a piece, from what I've seen, because I was planning on buying them. But all 3 for $8, I'll absolutely drop that money any day. Those old reprints are way, way better than anything on the stands now. Just here to... Oh, thanks, Scorebag. I appreciate it. Comics should be done with the same emphasis as film, show, don't tell. You would think so, but they're just using this as a vehicle to get Netflix deals. Yeah, heavy metal's still around. It got sold back in like 2019. All right. They're also doing a line of comics, which are largely pretty good, but I'm probably going to be scaling that back after reading about what they did. We'll get to that in a minute. First, let's get to the new books out of the way for next week from everybody else that isn't DC. So, Image Comics. Oops. We've got Bliss. Nope, stupid. Commanders in Crisis. Stupid. Lazy writing, too. Let's see. Deadly Class. Wasn't interested at all. Deep Beyond. Not interested. Oh, look. 4 variant covers for an Image book. I guess you got to sell books somehow. Deep Beyond looked like it had potential, but it just wasn't that compelling to me. And at $4 a piece, not really spending the money. Even at the stores I get discount, I just wasn't that interested. So why bother? I'm not spending that kind of money if I don't have to. Family Tree, that book's stupid. Firepower suffers from the exact problem I was just describing. It's an interesting story. They clearly have an idea what they want to do, but they drag it out way too far. The first volume is only like $10 because it's an Image book. That's what they've been doing lately. But I just can't commit to a 6-issue story arc that takes forever to go anywhere. At best, these story arcs can be compressed into 3 issues easily. And they won't do it because they got to drag it out for the trade because they get more money from selling individual floppies and then the trade paperback. And look at all these variant covers. We've got 2, 4, 6, 7 variants. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 different covers for 1 issue. And look, $4.99 a piece for most of these. Some of these are incentive covers, probably. But yeah, they're all $4.99. So $5 each for 13 different covers. That's a slap in the face. I would drop it just based on that. Inkblot is an interesting book, but not for 20 pages for $4. And the stories are very similar. I think it was issues 4 and 5. Were almost identical on story. They just had slightly different environments. One took place in the desert, and one took place in the jungle. Otherwise, they were the same story. Like almost beat for beat, the exact same. So I gotta get that review out too. Noctera, same problem. it seems like an okay book, but it's taking forever to get anywhere. And at $4 a piece, I'm just not that interested. This is issue 2 reprint, third printing, and then issue 3 second print, and then issue 4 is the new one. It's okay, but get it out of dollar bin. It's just not that compelling because not much happens. They have 1 or 2 interesting things happen, and then it goes nowhere. Savage Dragon is just softcore porn as far as I can tell. Shadecraft, I don't care. This weird chibi art thing, I never understand that. Ultra Mega, for what it is, it's fine. It's just a gory adult version of kaiju fighting, from what I could tell. And it's $8. Not my thing. I can see why people like it, but nothing there for me. A Walking Dead, nope. I think you've milked enough money out of me. So, no thank you. So, nothing from Image. Dark Horse, we've got Apex Legends Overtime. Not interested. Beasts of Burden, it's a cool cover, but not interested. It's just a weird looking book. Dead Dogs Bite. That sounds like some sort of mafia movie, but I guess it's got some other elements to it, and I'm just not that interested. Hellboy Universe Secret Histories hardcover. That's probably pretty cool, but it's $40. For a hardcover, that's not bad these days, unfortunately, but I'm not that interested in it. Jenny Zero, no, that's about a drunk who fights kaiju monsters. So that just sounded boring, and it's another one of those subvert your expectations books. No, thank you. Keep your hands up. I don't care. That art looks like shit. Orville, I don't watch the show, so kind of pointless there. Pride Omnibus, no thank you. That's more gay superheroes, as I recall. Yeah, that's the guy that used to work at like Bleeding Cool and his LGBTQ superhero team. The guy's an asshole, and the book didn't look very good, so not that interested. Renegade Rule, no. Resident Alien, no. Boring. Skull Digger, cool costume, but it was just kind of boring what I read of it, and I'm not interested in any of that. Worst Dudes, nope, stupid title. Young Hellboy, could be interesting, but I don't know, it just didn't really do anything for me. And again, it's another $4 I'm just not prepared to spend. And it's the end of a story arc anyway. So, gonna skip that one. Nothing from Dark Horse this week. IDW Origins. These have been okay-ish for the most part. They're decent for younger readers, but they're just mediocre. So they're really not that great. But I don't know. I'd rather give IDW the money than Marvel for a Marvel property. How sad is that? So I'm going to skip this one. I just don't care. They're not that good. They're not $5 good. If these were $1, I'd buy one. My Little Pony, not my thing, but it's been consistently praised, so there's that. Sonic the Hedgehog, trade paperback. I don't read Sonic. I don't know much about Sonic, and I don't care. I'm sure it's fine. It gets good reviews all the time from people I trust, so nothing from IDW, which is pretty sad. I do like IDW quite a bit. They do some pretty good stuff. Marvel Comics, Aliens, I don't care. This story was slow and boring. Issue 1, nothing happened. It was so boring. Spider-Man, it's written by Nick Spencer, so it's at best mediocre. And the art is weird, and I don't like it. So I'm not buying that crap. Black Cat, no, I'm not interested. What I've seen of it isn't very interesting. It's not very good. So Carnage, Black, White, and Blood. No, I'm sorry. Not very good. Demon Days, Mariko. The art is really, really lazy knockoff anime art. So I'm not going to read that. And it's an X title, so no X-Men. I'm not buying it till they stop doing this stupid ethno-state crap and make the characters heroes again. Guardians of the Galaxy, that title's really sucking balls, so not getting that. Hellions, it's an X-Men book. Nope. Heroes Reborn, that's storyline is really slipping quite a bit. Last issue was really lazy. But I'll pick up issue 5 to see if they can turn it around. It slowed down after issue 2. But they still got a chance to turn it around and make it good. So I'll pick up issue 5 as a completionist. I'm a sucker, and I know it. But variant covers, I don't care about. I think those are stupid. American Knights, I'm not getting that. These spin-off Heroes Reborns are all cash grabs from what I can tell. And of course, you've got variant covers for each one. But it's not going to be a permanent universe. It's just sort of a event thing they're doing. And these books really have nothing to do with anything. They're just one-shots in that universe. And if you're interested in them, I would just wait and get the trade paperback at a discount price at Ollie's or whatever discount outlet you have in your area, because that's where they're going to end up. These things aren't selling that well from what I can see at the shops I go to. Heroes Reborn isn't doing that good on sales according to those comic shop guys, which, obviously anecdotal for my region, but they have a lot of these peripheral books just sitting around, and they've all cut way back on their sales. This one is probably going to be the most interesting because it takes the Hobgoblin Gwen Stacy storyline and makes it Nighthawk and Falcon. Nighthawk's black now for some reason, but that doesn't bother me so much as is the story any good. Immortal Hulk, that book sucks. Iron Fist, rather. Ironheart, wow. Iron Fist, I am going to check this out. This series has been pretty good. It's a mini-series. This is the final issue. I've been enjoying it overall, so hopefully that's good. Iron Man Annual, nope, don't care. Iron Man's been sucking donkey balls lately. Marauders, it's an X-Men book, so no. They're doing this gala thing that's supposed to be this big crossover storyline, and it looks really, really dumb. See, these are some more of the character designs. They're all wearing goofy costumes for like this masquerade ball. It's really stupid, so I'm not supporting that trash. Marvel Snapshots, I have no interest. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur graphic novel. No, that's a hot mess, and they keep pushing these trash characters with this shit art. So nope, not getting that. I'm getting angrier as we go. This is not good. We haven't even gotten to the stories yet. Moon Knight Epic Collection. This is really cool. It collects a lot of random rare appearances. And a lot of the stories that were in the Omnibus we saw a few months ago are in this book. It's only $40. It's a pretty decent collection for that price, because a lot of these books cost more than that on their own. So you could get a lot of really good obscure stuff, including material from like Hulk magazine and old Marvel preview for a decent price. So if you're a Moon Knight fan, this is a good place to start and jump in. And there's a lot of self-contained stories, so you'll get a fair amount of interesting stuff for what I think is not too bad of a price. So I'd recommend that one. I'm not going to get it because I don't have $40. Nonstop Spider-Man, that book is such hot shit. Wow, it is so bad. That's a poster. Savage Avengers really went downhill like 15, 16 issues ago. Spider-Woman, nope. War of the Bounty Hunters, I'm not going to bother. I'll wait and get the trade paperback at discount somewhere. I've seen a lot of the trades for Star Wars at places like Ollie's and other discount ones. I saw one at a big and small lots. I don't know. Maybe somebody took it in there and just abandoned it. But I'm not interested at all. Look at all these variant covers, too. That tells me a lot. Trials of Loki, $8. No. Nothing I've seen out of Marvel in a long time, other than reprints, is even remotely worth that. Poster, X-Men, Way of X, nope, don't care. X-Force, more of that stupid storyline. Age of X-Men Apocalypse Omnibus. I didn't like this story back in the day. At some point, I should reread it because it's probably better now. But it just wasn't something I was that interested in. I didn't like it very much. But by today's standards, maybe I'll like it more. X-Force, no. But yeah, $125, vastly overpriced in my opinion. But if you liked the story and you like the little mini series that went along with it, it's got everything there. So you get quite a bit, including the ash can, which a lot of people didn't know about and didn't have. So it might be worth reading if you enjoyed that event. But I would get it cheaper off Amazon or half price trades. Or the other discount one. Yep, there's plenty of outlets to find. You guys know what I'm talking about. So for Marvel, I'm going to get Iron Fist and Heroes Reborn. That's it. And Heroes Reborn is kind of a gimme because I probably should just give up on it, but whatever. I'll sacrifice that one and take the hit to see if they can turn it around. Dynamite, Betty Page, Curse of the Banshee. I don't care about the Betty Page stuff. I've heard it's good, but I just don't care. Dynamite is way too hit and miss to take too many risks with them. So I'm not going to get it. And I'm certainly not getting a $75 signed edition of anything that there's. Invincible Red Sonja issue 2. I'm going to get that. The first issue was actually pretty fun. Again, you got like 6 variant covers. That's really dumb. They're known for this, though, so I expect it from Dynamite. But I'm just not that interested beyond that. I'll get the $4 one and move on with my life. I don't even care what cover. $50 books. Vampirella, no. Sadly, that's been garbage since it started. 92 one-shot. That might be worth checking out because that's a reprint of the old 1992 stuff. And those were pretty good back then. So I would consider that one. I'm going to write that one down as a maybe. That's $5, but it's a reprint of better material, so maybe I'll get that if I see it on the stand. CCG covered. That's a scam. $50 trade. So the only thing I'm really getting from Dynamite is Invincible Red Sonja number 2. That's because I enjoyed the first issue. An Unkindness of Ravens. Nope. Basilisk. It doesn't tell you anything about the book, really, so I'm going to just pass on this one. It might be okay. Boom is usually pretty good, but I'm just not willing to take the chance on too many new books. So I'm going to skip that one because I'm getting Heroes Reborn. Buffy, no. Not for me. Labyrinth, that's probably okay. I've heard mixed reviews on it. On the previous ones they did. Well, I'm going to skip that one. Magic the Gathering, second print. No, first book was so freaking bad. Could not believe how incredibly boring it was and how they didn't tell me who any of these people were or why I cared. So definitely not giving that any more money. Proctor Valley Road, I don't care. That's a second printing of a book I wasn't interested in earlier. So nothing from Boom. Anthrax has another trade paperback coming out. That's the band. Them and Iron Maiden seem to have touched on the comic industry quite a bit. And Kiss has been way more involved. But if you're a fan, maybe, but it's not something I'm interested in. I don't know what this is, but it looks like a wedding comic book, so no interest here. Backfired, not interested. Blackjack Demon. That looked kind of boring. Cool title, though. Blade Runner 4-pack. This is actually not a bad purchase. Those books were pretty good. This art style is what the covers are. It's that variation of the art is the Momoko, Peach Momoko, whatever, that artist's books. So those are still available. You could probably order the individual issues separately and save some money. Blood Skulls and Chrome. This is a book about motorcycle gangs, which villain book, but I'm going to pick this one up, I think, because it sounded like it was fairly interesting, and it's from the Second Sight Publishing. It took me a little while to talk one of my comic shop guys into ordering it for me, because he doesn't like, most of them don't like ordering from this place, but he's more flexible. And I want to give a new company a shot and see what they're capable of. So they've got several books coming out. This is another one, Book of Liaxia. but I wasn't interested in this one, so I skipped it. It just didn't seem like something I cared about. It's more fantasy type stuff. And all the character names were very unoriginal, like Kronos, Ares. No, man, just that's kind of lazy. It's not that hard to come up with new fantasy sounding names without dipping back into the same 30 that we see in every fantasy book. By the Horns, no, that looked boring. Cardboard Kingdom, cartoonish, crappy art. I'm not interested. So I'm skipping that trash. That looks like dog shit. Cover not final. No, that looks stupid. Cosmic Pizza Party, kind of a cool title, but just not interested. It's a little too cartoony for me. Chainsaw Man, I've heard this book is interesting. It's a manga, which isn't normally my thing, but it's got a cool title. I might check that one out at some point, but it would have to be for the patrons because I'm not getting a strike on my channel because manga people don't believe in fair use. City of Belgium, who fucking cares? What a stupid title. Something better, awesome better be happening. Demon Slayer, I've heard interesting things about this, maybe someday. Dynamic Forces, don't care. Dragon Ball Z, not my thing, but I'm sure it's fine. Dryad, no, I'm not jumping in that. It looked mediocre. Same with Everfrost. This is Black Mask, so it's super woke, I'm sure. Getting the game, that art looks really dumb. Fairy Tale box set, that doesn't seem like anything I want to read. Gold Digger, stupid. Ham Helsing, Vampire Hunter. It's about a pig vampire hunter. No, thank you. Heroic Legend. I don't know what this is. No, thank you. Hilda and the Mountain King. Cool title. Then you look at this garbage art. No, thanks. Hollow Heart. Nope. That's some woke crap. If which, then which. No, I don't know anything about it. It's another anime thing. Manga. I'm not that interested in. Same with Great Priest Imhotep. This one's got a cool title, though. Inhuman Trials. No. I can't even pronounce that one. Kaizen. That might be okay. I don't know. The cover's kind of neat. Lady Freedom. I'm going to pick this one up. It's at least a superhero book. I like my capes. So I'm going to give that one a shot. I had to order issue 1. So hopefully that shows up before issue 2. But again, Second Sight. It's a new publisher. It's the only reason I'm going to give it a shot and read a couple of issues from them. Love hardcover. It's about a doggy. I don't know. A loyal hunting dog finds himself alone in the wild outback of Australia. Okay. No, thank you. Man's World, stupid. Markiplier, don't care. I don't want to read a book about a YouTuber. Unless it's me. And then, yeah, maybe. Even then, I'm 50-50. Monthly Girls, that sounds hot, but not what I'm thinking, I'm sure. Moths, oh, it's Artists, Writers, and Artisans. Nope. Just buy the trade for $10 if you want it. My Hero Academia, I don't know anything about it, so. Myths and Legends, Dragon Clan, this is $9. But Zenoscope, and I'm going to buy this. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm a sucker, and Zenoscope has done pretty good by me as far as consistency on quality. Plus, this is 72 pages. So for 72 pages, I'm easily getting a story out of that. And if they're charging $4 for 22 pages, I think I'm okay on this one. It's exorbitant, and I know it. It's a small publisher, though, and I'm willing to give them a little extra for their work, typically an extra $1 or so, because, as an 80s kid, that's what most of the indie stuff was, at least an extra $1 versus everything else from the mainstream. But there was some good indie stuff back in the day, and it looks even better by today's standards. But Zenoscope has done good books. It's overpriced. I fully acknowledge I'm a sucker for buying it. But 72 pages for $9, I'm willing to give them this shot. Mostly because this is a really light week, and I would pick up a Zenoscope book before I pick up some of the Marvel stuff, just because Marvel has been consistently bad. Not even inconsistent. They're just consistently bad. So I'll take a shot on a Zenescope book because Zenescope has been much more faithful in putting out books that they are capable of being proud of and saying this is an old style comic. And it's effectively a graphic novel at that point. So I'm going to take the hit and get it. I'm not even going to attempt to apologize for it because I don't give a fuck. It's got an awesome, badass dragon cover. And it's about a dragon lord, dragon clan, rather. So dragons, guys with flaming swords. Yeah, fuck it. $9, fine. You get the value of 2 books out of me, Zenescope, whereas Marvel DC have burned me too many times at $4 and $5. So fuck it. I'll support a company I like. Night Hunters, don't care. Ninja High School, I never got into that book. I think it's the manga style art always turned me off. It's American manga style art, but I've heard it's good. It's just not my thing. Norma and Belly Year, Apple of My Pie. That sounds like some porn. No. One Punch Man. I like the cartoon. That was pretty fun, what I saw of it. So I'd probably read this if I had read the first 21. Out of Body. No, I'm not reading that. It looks weird. I don't understand what's going on. The cover needs to tell me what's happening. Overlord. That's got a cool title, but another manga. I just don't like the art style that much. Sorry. Pacey Pecker Unicorn Tracker. Is everybody that works in comics now like mentally 12? Because this doesn't look like a kid's book. It just looks like some weird, stupid shit. So I don't know what that is, but no, thank you. Rent a Girlfriend. Still think that's a great title. But I'm not getting it. Rick and Morty. I'm going to skip these. Some of the Rick and Morty stuff's actually pretty funny, but I'm not that interested. And the Rick and Morty fans are a massive turnoff. Rorschach signed. I don't give a shit about Tom King's autograph. Salmon is Talking Gun. Great title. Not interested. Just didn't look that good. Seraph, don't care. Scoop and Scuttle, don't care. Serial, not that good. Something Goldfish. I'm going to skip that one. Shy Ninja. That sounds boring and beta. No, I want something that's badass in action. Strange Planet. It's got this weird art style I don't like, so I'm not getting that. Summer of You. That sounds like some weird romance. Sweat and Soap sounds like porn, which normally would be a selling point, but it doesn't look very good here. Swords of Cerberus and Hell trade paperback. That's probably fine. Cerberus is usually at least readable. Sympathy for No Devils, don't care. Don't know what that is, don't care. Teasing Master Takagi. Weirdly doesn't look like porn. So, losing me. The Tea Dragon. I don't want to hear about dragon having tea. I want the fire-breathing dragon that drinks tea on the side while eating people. Yeah, maybe then, but no. Twin Star Exorcist. See, that's got a cool title. Vampire Night Memories. You lost me at memories, so sorry. Plus, it's some really kind of effeminate-looking art. Visitor, that book is trash. And this book has been going for like over a year. Warriors, I've heard that book series is like a good popular kids thing, but I don't care. It's about like kitty cats fighting or something. Wave, Listen to Me. I don't know what that sentence doesn't even make sense. So gonna skip that. I'm sure it's lost in translation. We Never Learn. I don't care. White Cat's Revenge. Plotted. Dragon Kings. That sounds like a cleverly disguised romance novel. Nice try, Asia. With dog and cat every day. I'm not a fan of that art. Yakuza Lover. That could be good if you're into like weird romance stuff. So I guess there's that. Yona the Dawn. No. You Promised Me Darkness. That sounds like some edgy girl shit. No thanks. So from the other ones, I'm getting Lady Freedom, Blood Skulls, and Chrome, and that Myth and Legends Quarterly. And that covers the new books. I am getting, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 10 books, maybe 11 if I get that Vampirella 1992. So an incredibly light week. And they seem to be doing that quite a bit lately. So I'll jump back over and check in with you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't see the donations. I'm sorry. I don't hear it doesn't ring anymore for me. I apologize for that. Thank you, Okie Native, for the donation. Here's some rice and 1 chicken leg money. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Quinn the Cultist, thank you, man. Start of getting Jack a second monitor fun. No, I got a new TV for it. But the actual HDMI port on my computer's dead, it seems. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to just replace this laptop. It's been on its way out for a while. I do like it. It's a pretty gray one. It says HP on it. That's really all I know about it. But I got it 6 years ago. Out of shade. Yeah, no shit. Rick and Morty is proof that fandoms can scare away an audience. Absolutely. I like the cartoon, but I am not going to associate with any of those people that I saw trying to get that Szechuan sauce. That was fucking stupid. Those people are an embarrassment to themselves and their families. Yeah, I hate missing donations, Oki. I'm really sorry about that. But thank you, Oki and Quinn the Cultist. I do not like when people skip donations or miss them, and I always feel really bad. And that was $20 or 20 minutes ago. Where did this monthly study come from? Yes, I often say that. Usually around laundry day when I'm searching pockets. Start selling blood, then round up people in charge of $5 each for driving to the plasma center. Right? There's good money in plasma sales. I've done that before. It sucks ass. It's very painful. But you can make like $50 if you go to the right place. If you go to the sketchy neighborhoods. All right, so what's going on over here, guys? Should be a goldfish's giant killer goldfish. All right, giant killer goldfish. Okay, you're selling me there. Here, Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter teams up with the Pride and Prejudice zombies, women that conquer the world. That's always a possibility. Pig vampire, right? A pig vampire hunter. But they're all Muslim vampires. I think you would pork her random. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get into our stories here. They're going to be a little out of order because I really like having that second screen. It makes this way easier. Oh, thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Tried to catch you before the stream to talk about the Moon Knight article. I'm going to be disappointed in the villain. I just know it. Yeah, likely. It looks like Marvel has just kind of given up. They're just doing anything now. We could start with that one, the Oscar Isaacs article. Yeah, thank you, Johnny. I really don't know what Marvel is doing other than doubling down on woke. And they don't seem to realize that it's not popular. Or they don't care. It's about pushing out agenda. But they're killing themselves. They're killing their own industry. And they don't seem to give a shit. They got Disney money now. And Disney is very, very left-wing these days. Although I suspect that will be turning around slightly once people stop going to theaters. And after seeing that god-awful, boring trailer for Eternals, I think that movie's going to flop. If that's what they're putting out for this, I don't think it's going to make anywhere near the kind of money they think it is. I think they want it to make that kind of cash, but I don't think it will. It's not going to be $1 billion box office hit like they seem to think it is, because it looks so boring. And it looks like just another Burger King Kids Club swath of people. I don't have high hopes for it. It told you nothing. Who are they fighting? What's the crux of the story? Who's the antagonist? What is the entire purpose? Other than I saw that there's probably a Bollywood dance number in there. Yeah, Quinn, it's a waste of 2 minutes of your time, but yeah, go check it out, come back, and leave a like when you do, because it was just hot garbage. I could not believe how boring that looked. Considering the all-star cast, I mean, they have Angelina Jolie and Selma Hayek in there, and they didn't even tell you who anybody's name was. You don't know who the bad guys are, if they're the bad guys, what's going on. Where were they during the Thanos snap? Maybe they were rehearsing that Bollywood number. I don't know. But it looked so massively boring. I could not believe how awful that looked. And Shang-Chi looked like generic martial arts movie. So I don't know what they're thinking. They're shitting all over the audience. It's gonna be crap. All right, so let's talk some Moon Knight. Shady Grin sent me this article earlier, and I haven't had a chance to read the whole thing. It's very short. Oscar Isaac posts first look at Disney Plus Moon Knight. That's a deceptive title. This is from IGN, so you know they're full shit. This is the photo he posted. That's not a first look. That's some dude with eyeshadow on. And it's a less than subtle way of telling you he's going to be Moon Knight. Oscar Isaacs is officially Moon Knight in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Comes by way of Marvel Studios tweet, which confirmed the news and offered up its first official look at the Moon Knight series coming to Disney Plus at some point in the future. However, this isn't a first look at Isaac in the Moon Knight costume or even a shot from behind the scenes. It's just Isaac in front of a Moon Knight comic cover art. Yeah, exactly. It's a very misleading headline you have there. So this means nothing to me. I think they could have gone with way worse casting, so I'm not upset by the casting. Just don't have high hopes for this series. As you can see in the tweet above, it does seem that Isaac has some eyeshadow of sorts on, alluding to some time spent under the cowl of Mark Spector's hero identity, Moon Knight. If you're asking yourself, I thought this was something we already knew, that's totally understandable because Isaac was all but confirmed. Isaac being in talks to play Moon Knight goes back as far as last October, then in early January. The show's cinematographer seemingly confirmed he had been cast in the titular role. Those familiar with Moon Knight might recognize some of the comics in the background. Nobody cares. Only time will tell. There's not a release date yet for Moon Knight. Check out Kevin Feige's latest update on the series, and then read about how Ethan Hawke has been cast as the series villain. Well, let's see if we can find that out. Read about Moon Knight is hired, or I'm sorry, how Marvel has hired the Endless director to direct the series. I don't even know what that is. And after that, go check out IGN's list of crap I don't care about. All right, so Ethan Hawke has also been cast. Let's see. He's the main villain. It's a supernatural vigilante. Yet it's gonna film in Budapest. Okay. Given the character's ethnicity in the comics, we could probably assume Hawk isn't playing Bushmaster or Bushman. Well, that's awfully racist of you. Why can't he play Bushman? Is it because Bushman's black or Middle Eastern or whatever? No. It's not going to tell us anything, is it? Well, Ethan Hawke's going to be the bad guy. That could be interesting. Ethan Hawke's an underrated actor, but I don't like where this is going. Marvel's getting super woke, so I don't have high hopes. So Ethan Hawke and Oscar Isaacs are officially cast. That's the rules now, kids. That's what we've got to work with. Marlene is a Palestinian woman. Of course she is. Of course. What's up with the thumbnail? I just like that picture. I think it's funny. Galactus. That's from a Squirrel Girl comic. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Viking Buddha, for the very, very generous donation. My local game shop is asking to see Vax records at the door, so here's some of my Warhammer miniature money. Dude, thank you so much. That's rude. Fuck your gaming store. No offense. I'm sure they're nice people and they're just buying into the media drivel. But wow. Thanks, man. That's really appreciated. That goes a long way. I can't believe people are asking to see cards. That's so, may I see your papers, please? Gestapo shit. I'm so sick of that crap. If somebody did that to me, I'd turn around and walk right out. I'd be like, nah, I'm good. Thanks. I'll spend my money elsewhere. A lot of the places around me aren't even asking you to wear masks because our mask mandate ends on the 2nd. So they've taken their signs down and they've some of them have put up ones that are like, if you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask. And people are just taking their mask off, or they're still wearing their mask or whatever. Nobody's bitching about it. I've seen like a few people kind of whining, but it's been very few people. The usual Karen crowd that you'd expect. You can look at them and spot them and be like, you got the Karen hairdo. You're going to be a problem. So sorry about that, Viking. Oh, they're not nice people? Then fuck those sacks of shit. I have no problem saying that. I am less and less interested in gaining new stuff for my hobbies every day. And every day I think about changing my channel into an old comic books instead of new comic books. And I'm going to be doing more of that. I acquired a lot of older stuff recently. And I'm going to be reviewing a lot more of those. So I just don't see much out there that's worth reading except independent stuff. Like American Mythology, I really like their Zorro books. But Marvel, I'm down to buying like 1 or 2 books from them a month. And I'm only buying the Heroes Reborn stuff because it's kind of a whim. And I need stuff to review, quite frankly. So, I don't know. I'm just losing interest in a lot of the, even trying out new books. Well, old 40K. Oh, yeah. 40K, man. I miss playing 40K. I was so bad at it. I was never good at Warhammer. I had elves for a long time, and I had sold them off, and years later I got into the Tomb Kings when they first came out, and I played those for a few years, and I don't think I won more than 2 battles with my Tomb Kings, but the miniatures looked really awesome, so I didn't care. And then I sold those off, and I think I'd Skaven for a little while, because I could use those with Mordheim, and I got back into High Elves for a little while, and I did better with those, but I rarely won. Hey, Pete, how you doing, man? That's the GM of a grocery store for Liz. Yeah, it's funny. Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl is great. Again, another game I rarely win at, but it's a fun game. And the minis look really cool. The new edition minis look really cool. And they have some really cool looking, what were they, tree men or something I saw? And the ogres looked really good. We used to play Man of War. I don't know if you ever played that, the fantasy boat game. That game was really cool, but again, another game I rarely ever won at. I am really bad at tabletop stuff. How you doing, Pete? All right, let's get into some Ta-Nehisi Coates. I had the since you mentioned that random, I had the Xbox version of Blood Bowl on the 360, and I really liked it. I thought that was a lot of fun. All right, we got some Ta-Nehisi Coates calling out Marvel for their treatment of creators. I'm going to have some unpopular opinions on this. So this is from today. This is Bounding Into Comics, which is a great comic resource. Black Panther writer Ta-Nehisi Coates. He's also been writing Captain America. He's wrapping up both. He's already done the work. He's already out the door, but they're being released slowly, of course, monthly. So he's already out at Marvel. That's actually not a bad cover. Fucking Miles Morales has to ruin everything. And he was giving an interview about Black Panther wrapping up. There's going to be a new team on it in a couple months. And he kind of slipped into bitchy ex-girlfriend mode. And he says, I'm not even so much talking about the writing, I'm talking about the marketing. I wish that more had been done on that level. Can I say something else too? I'm not talking about myself here because I feel like I'm somebody who is fortunate in the sense I've been able to make a living in all kinds of other ways. Yeah, he used to write for The Atlantic and do books, and now he's doing the Black Superman movie. But there are other people who are making their living off comics, and I wish Marvel found better ways to compensate the creators who helped make Black Panther Black Panther. Oh, you mean like Kirby? No, you don't, though. I wish they had found better ways to compensate the folks who made Captain America Captain America. He elaborated, I'm talking very specifically here. I wish they found ways to compensate the authors of the greatest Winter Soldier stories that you're ever going to read. He talks about Ed Brubaker a lot in here. I think it's because that's his best example because he knows Brubaker. I don't love that there's a Falcon and Winter Soldier show on TV, and I'm hearing from Ed Brubaker that he can't even get in contact with. I just don't love that. I don't love that. This man's a professional writer. Look, I had a great time. I had a tremendous time writing for Marvel. It's best ever. Huge. I'm indebted to Marvel. No, you're not. I love my editors. Yeah, because they didn't do shit to dial down your boring content. I had great people working with me. And then he turned his ire to the corporate side of Marvel Comics, which is owned by Disney. Corporate side of this, though, the corporate side is this is not pretty. It's not pretty at all. Are you just going to repeat yourself? This is annoying. Oh, thank you, Shitty Grin, for telling me about this as well. How you treat people who create the basis for this, I don't love it. Okay. Coates continued to critique Marvel Comics and so you can start from a position of not what my contract says, but what is right, how I'd want to be treated. And again, not to go off, but I know specifically with Ed, I mean, look, the 3 Captain America films are to me like they are probably short of Black Panther, my favorite Marvel films. Frankly, when we start talking about science fiction genre movies and all of that, one of my favorite trilogies. I mean, it's just really great, consistent quality, but I also know what the root of that. Okay, professional writer. He continued. And I know, reading Ed's take, how he was for Bucky and how much just pathos and sadness. And look, I just talked about how I don't like killing characters. I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a rant. I know we're supposed to be talking about Black Panther. Yeah, well, get to your point. Code said shared his love for the death of Captain America. That's a weird flex. Death of the Captain America is one of the greatest stories I've ever read. I'm talking about the volumes. It's fucking incredible, ridiculously good. He continued. When I was going on Captain America, I thought about that. I was like, if I could get anywhere near this, I'd have done something. You didn't get anywhere near that. I didn't like that storyline, and I absolutely hated your take on Captain America. But at least Brubaker's a competent writer. Guts then returned to ramble on. But to have that and have him bleed into that book, to have Steve Epting bleed into that book the way he did, to see folks making billions over top of billions, and for my man to say he can't get a phone call returned. He concluded, I don't know what the relationship will be like in the future, but as a creator, you think about that. You think about how people treat other people. You think about how corporations treat other people. And I just don't love it, dude. In a newsletter published in March, Brubaker expressed his thoughts about the Falcon Winter Soldier show. Yeah, basically, I can sum this up. Brubaker's not getting any money for the show. He gets a thanks in the credits. He signed a work for hire agreement. And unfortunately, when you work for hire, you don't get extra money afterwards. Some people do in their contracts now. The company will own their work, but they'll get like a stipend if the sales go over a certain point, or if they have a new printing, they get a small amount. Those royalties are negotiated. So Brubaker didn't negotiate that, and he doesn't get anything for turning Bucky into the Winter Soldier. He didn't create Bucky. Bucky was around from the Joe Simon, Jack Kirby era. He just changed Bucky into a new character, which he did pretty well. I'll give him that. But he also doesn't deserve credit for creating the Winter Soldier entirely. Now, Chuck Dixon has been complaining about this for a long time, that creators are getting left behind. They've been getting left behind since the inception of the genre. It's work for hire art. And he goes on to say kind of the same thing about Birds of Prey. He got a thank you in the credits, and that's about it. If he's lucky, he gets that. And that's what Coates is complaining about. Now, unfortunately, that's the agreement you signed. If you didn't like the agreement, you shouldn't have signed it. I don't love it. Merch. That's a good idea, Pete. I might swipe that. I'm kind of tired, man. My back's hurting. Friend of mine's in the hospital. He had to have surgery, and I was driving his wife around. And I'm exhausted. I've been up all day. I was dog sitting before that, and then had to take the wife up to see him and then bring her back. And he had surgery, so that was a whole ordeal. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat, for the donation. Just thought of something. If they're going to swap all these characters, just have Martin Short voice Khonshu. You know what? That might make the movie more interesting. Actually, I would have Martin Short do the voice of all the characters except Khonshu and have Gilbert Gottfried do that one. But I like where your head's at. And thank you for the donation. Is that a euphemism? No, sadly it's not. Yeah, back in the old days, everything was work for hire. Whether you worked for a newspaper or a comic publisher, you were work for hire. And I'm sorry you didn't make a lot of money doing all that slavish work that is so well regarded now that is making billions. But that's the deal you made. You should always try and negotiate your contract. Oh, I'm not going to bang his wife, dude. I'm not attracted to her. But yeah, I'm hoping he's okay too. We'll see how it works out. Thank you. Gilbert Wright, as I said. Yeah, but everybody does, man. You think like Martin Short, your next logical conclusion is Gilbert Gottfried. You can't tell me you won't watch that movie, Random. You know you would. All right, what's next on the list here? We'll save that one for later. Let's go to some drama that's been going around. So I don't know if you guys knew, but Rosario Dawson was almost getting canceled. There were a bunch of Twitter hate mobs going after her after the Gina Carano thing. They wanted to get rid of Rosario as well because she's supposedly transphobic. Well, that court case finally got a conclusion. No, it'd be really weird, Ryan. Trust me, that one would be really weird and awkward. So nope, not getting involved in that. Court dismisses anti-trans assault lawsuit against Rosario Dawson. So, you know what? I'd bang Rosario. She's not aging that well. She looks like she's shrinking, but I'd still bang her. She's still kind of hot to me. I don't know why, but I think it's her smile, and she has nice eyes. But I'd totally bang her. It was a dispute that destroyed a decades-long family friendship, generated headlines around the world, and divided a galactic fandom. Last week it ended quietly and without public notice with a full dismissal. Or at least it ended in the U.S. legal system. The intense feelings surrounding the case of Dedrick Finley versus Rosario Dawson seems likely to endure. In October 2019, Finley, a trans man who had known Dawson and her family for many years and worked with them in Los Angeles doing household repairs, filed a lawsuit alleging mistreatment and discrimination, including physical assault and anti-trans insults, such as deliberate misgendering. Okay, if you've known someone for 10 years and they switch their pronouns, it takes a while to adjust. I'm sorry. You have to deal with that. That's human nature. Get over it. Quit being a fucking crybaby. It was a disturbing allegation against an actress who had supported LGBTQ plus causes. In the era of Me Too, however, were many eager to hear out the accuser since the public image of some well-known figures have not always matched their behaviors in real life. The volume went down as lawyers got to work making motions before the court, submitting evidence and interrogatories. The issues flared up publicly again in March 2020 when rumors began to circulate that Dawson had been cast as popular Star Wars actress. Some fans loved it. I thought she did a great job as Ashoka or whatever the fuck that chick's name is. I thought she did great. She's a very good actress. I thought she did a fine job. Others expressed anger that Dawson would be hired with serious allegations still unresolved. Hey, innocent until proven guilty, you dickbags. Unless there's good evidence she did it, and there wasn't. Court filings show that the case gradually began to wither. No shit. Shocker. Last fall, the court granted Finley's voluntary request to withdraw all but 2 of his claims, and the lawyer representing him withdrew from the case. See, even his lawyer knew he was full shit. Finley sought to continue pursuing 2 claims that related to an alleged physical altercation. The court asked him to submit further evidence in order to proceed on those. This story really didn't get very equitable representation in the press. They mostly just gave Finley's side, and Dawson's side was just ignored largely. And even when it was given a little bit of a listen, it wasn't very fairly presented. So it was a bit disingenuous. That led to May 21st, when, according to documentations obtained from the Los Angeles Superior Court, a judge threw out those final remaining cases after Finley did not respond to repeated court requests for documentation, answers to questions, and an independent medical examination aimed at reinforcing his claims of mental and physical harm. Oh boy, you didn't bother with anything, did you? After hundreds of pages of motions, it came down to a 3-page ruling and one key sentence. The court hereby dismisses the action. This had to have cost Dawson a ton of money because this was so high profile. And it sounds like this Finley guy was just dragging stuff out. In a new statement from Dawson's rep, the actress said the case fell apart because it wasn't true. That's what it sounds like. My family is pleased that this baseless suit is over, while the vast majority of the false claims have been voluntarily withdrawn last year, including every single false claim of discrimination. Today, the court terminated the remainder of the case, allowing us all to move forward. Finley, who had recently been representing himself on the case, did not that's always a bad idea. Did not reply to a request for comment left on the phone number listed in court filings or to an email address, blah, blah, blah. There's also no response to direct message on Facebook. Oh, you're just stalking this dude now. In the motion granting Dawson's request for dismissal, the court noted Finley did not file an opposition. I think he knew it was over. The accusations had far-reaching consequences beyond the parties involved. The case was high profile at a time when trans people have continued making themselves visible in their fight for equality. This is Vanity Fair. You got to expect some of this crap. Standing up against long-time cruelty and mistreatment. Okay. The accusations also roiled the vast Star Wars following, when it became clear that Dawson would be portraying a live-action version. Nobody cared except a couple of crybabies on the internet. Most of these were dismissed well before this nonsense even went down, so fuck off with that. It also appeared to be a personal tragedy. One particularly sad remnant of the case is an image Finley posted on a website promoting his repair business, with Dawson in a billowing black skirt and leather jacket, and Finley in paint splatter work coveralls. They have their arms around each other and are smiling sweetly. Dawson addressed this formerly close relationship in her new statement, that these false claims came from someone we've known as a close family, as chosen family for decades, and who we were trying to help, is trying so hard to help out. I can't read. As we have many times in the past, was very heartbreaking. Yeah, absolutely. They've known this person over 10 years, and they get what is effectively stabbed in the back with a bunch of generously put questionable charges. This was crap when it came out. A lot of stuff was dropped, and then even the lawyer walked away. Nevertheless, we have great empathy for him and have only ever wished him well. See, that's more charitable than I would have been. I'd be like, fuck off with this. But, these are actors. They have a perception to keep up. By Finley's own account, according to his lawsuit, he had known the Dawsons for roughly 20 years. When he moved out from New York to California a few years ago, Finley told Out magazine that Dawson and her family gave him a place to live, a paying job, and the actress had personally given him money to help with the relocation. You're going to turn around and slap these people in the face? Fuck off. It was around that time Finley told them he was transitioning. Okay. According to Out, that happy start to his time in LA eventually devolved into a series of increasingly hostile disagreements that finally exploded in the form of a lawsuit and allegations of discrimination and assault. He detailed what he describes as a collapsing relationship between him and the Dawsons that he claims led to a physical clash with Dawson and her mother, Isabella. You're fighting her mom? That's a little trashy. In the interview, Finley and one of his attorneys also described his conflict with the Dawsons as part of a larger struggle for trans rights and equality. I always hoped that that's it. You have to take a stand for yourself. Well, it sounds like that was pretty baseless. After withdrawing most of the other claims, the two that Finley continued to pursue related only to his alleged assault involving Dawson and her mother, because Rosario's the deep pockets. That's why. In September, Finley's lawyer, David Ratner, petitioned the court to leave the case. In a request for removal form, Ratner wrote, "Counsel is unable to continue to provide effective representation to client because of client's actions and inactions during the pendency of this case. To protect current attorney-client privilege, no further details can be given. So yeah, this really heated up when Gina Carano got booted. But hey, the crux of this is that Rosario is in the clear. These charges appear to have been completely baseless, or at least baseless enough the court was like, yeah, fuck off with this. So maybe she can move on with her career now. This undoubtedly did hurt her career, and it absolutely hurt her reputation. There are people that are going to believe this story no matter what, and I feel sorry for her. From what I've heard, she's actually a pretty nice person, and she did give this person money to move out to California, a paying job, and some free promotion that she didn't have to do. So this is a pretty big slap in the face. If you're having the things to the point where you're disagreeing so much and you're having verbal altercations that look like they're going to go physical, why wouldn't you just walk away from that? Maybe it's time to separate yourself and just say, hey, this chapter is over, instead of actually getting in a fight with someone and their mom. I mean, her mom's got to be in her 60s. What the fuck? So this is finally over for her. But, you know, there's still going to be internet weirdos that are going to say that she's anti-trans or whatever, despite all the things she's done for the trans community. So I find the charges very hard to believe to begin with. Yeah, Dark, I was too. I thought she would be really good for this because she's a really good actress. So saying that she's going to play Ashoka, fine. She looks the part. She could pull it off. Good enough actress to do it. And I think I was right. I was very impressed with it. I'd bang an alien. I'd bang an alien too. So yeah, I don't know. I think that they were trying to cancel her over what amounts to some accusations that really didn't go anywhere. So glad that's finally over for her. That's very stressful going through litigation like that. So, all right, let's take a look at something stupid DC posted. This is a little bit more lighthearted. Oops, that's the wrong button. I do not want to leave studio. All right, so DC posted meet the cast of Netflix The Sandman from the mind of Neil himself. Neil Gaiman's overrated. I'm sorry. He was edgy boy in the 90s, but not anymore. So here's the cast. We've got Kirby Hal Batiste is Death. Oh, wait, she, her. What? Mason, Alexander, they, them? She, her. Yeah, they put their fucking pronouns on the flyer for this. This is just some promotional flyer thing they put together. And I think the only one with something weird is Mason here, who goes by they, them. Everybody else is she, her for the chicks, and he, him for the guys. That's dumb. Plus, there's a lot of race swapping here, and I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, I have no interest in this to begin with because I'm not a huge Sandman fan, as heretical as that may be. But yeah, this sold me on it that I do not want to watch this because pronouns in an advertisement for a show. Why don't you try telling me about the show? Maybe a one-line thing about what these characters are, because most people don't know. Who is this for? So I thought, oh, there's my comment right there. But yeah, this is just pseudo edginess. It's lazy. It's garbage. No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, it's really cringe, man. Oh, glad you liked it, Dark. Yeah, I liked her too. Joanna Constantine looks kind of hot. Let's see. Yeah, oh, that's Jenna Coleman. She was on Doctor Who. She is a little cutie and built for speed, the type I like. She's actually a really good actress. They have a few decent actors on here. Stephen Fry, of course. But they do have Patton Oswalt, so fuck that little midget. But yeah, Jenna Coleman is really hot. She was on the 11th and 12th Doctor runs. So if you want to see there's some cute pictures of her on the internet. So I thought that was dumb, and I wanted to laugh at it. So we've got some Predator 5 news. and look at that real quick. This is from Cinema Blend. Fuck off with your ads. I couldn't get this to archive well. Could get this to archive well, so Predator 5 story details have possibly been revealed, and they sound badass. Well, Cinema Blend, we shall see. Remember, they are in litigation with the creators of Predator, the original script hunters, because they wanted their rights back, and Disney's like, no, we don't want to give you money. We're going to keep it. And they're still casting people for a movie, even though they may not even own the rights anymore. So this tells you how much Disney's probably going to push money into this to win it. Because that's usually what they do. All right, so everybody knows the original was badass. And now possible plot synopsis has been revealed, and it sounds badass. Well, the last Predator movies were pretty shit, not going to lie. In a recent report on the 5th entry into the series, if you're counting the Alien vs. Predator spin-offs, Predator 5 is allegedly taking viewers back in time to a pre-European Comanche tribe. The full synopsis, which was reported by AVP Galaxy, will supposedly follow Key, a Comanche woman who goes outside the established gender norms to fight for her tribe, presumably against a predator. Through her fight, Key will attempt to prove that she is a capable leader of the tribe despite her gender. Now, this synopsis hasn't been verified, so take it with a big grain of salt. Now, this actually sadly sounds believable. But if it ends up being true, it'll be one of the few Predator films to feature a female lead. Aliens vs. Predator 2 Requiem had some female leads. A couple of them bought it. And the first Alien vs. Predator was really stupid, and it had a female lead. Might be a connection there. While there have been some seriously badass women in the franchise, they usually co-star alongside a male lead. Yeah, because it's a male franchise. In the alleged plot, it sounds like Key will be taking on a more central role than past female characters in the franchise. While the Alien vs. Predator films did feature female leads, those crossovers exist independently from the main franchise. Yeah, that's a lazy out. AVP Galaxy also reported that director Dan Trachtenberg will begin shooting the film, which is known as Skulls. Oh, wow, that's even edgier. In a few months, Trachtenberg fans may recognize his work on Black Mirror and Amazon's The Boys. The upcoming Untitled Predator project will be his second-length feature film after his debut with 10 Cloverfield Lane. Now, I like 10 Cloverfield Lane. I thought that was a fun movie. John Goodman was great. And the girl that was in that was really good, too. It was a very fun, great twist ending. Even though the synopsis remains unconfirmed, I can't help but feel a little hyped up. He's already proven himself on both TV and film front, in my opinion. Nobody cares. Yeah, it just kind of goes on. There's no confirmed release date, but fans can currently watch the iconic action film that started all on Stars. Nobody cares. So, Predator's getting woke. It's going to be a chick Comanche warrior, and she's going to be our hero, and she's a strong, independent woman that don't need no man. Yeah, Alien vs. Predator 1 I thought was dog shit, but the second one I thought was fun. Good, campy fun. And the Predators one where they were on an alien planet being hunted, I thought that was interesting, but it was just really mediocre. And that last one they did was a turd. That was so fucking stupid. They're going to wipe their ass with my heritage. They absolutely are, James. She would. She would have been ostracized, but this is the whole theory of the noble savage. You know, this is some white man's burden shit. It's really disgusting. If you want to have a brave Comanche woman that wants to be a warrior, fine. I saw the movie Brave. That's what it sounds like. Why don't they just have her whole tribe get massacred by the predator and she's the last survivor and she has to face off with him to get revenge? I'd watch the shit out of that movie. That sounds cool. Instead, this is like, she's going to be accepted by the tribe as their new elder. No, that would not have happened back then. Somebody would have bitch slapped her back into place. This is going to be crap. The Yakuza guy fighting predators. Yeah, that was pretty good. They've all got cool scenes, but unfortunately, some of the movies are dog shit. Until she runs into a she predator. I don't know if you've heard, but that might be part of the storyline because that was a leak previously. Is that the next movie is going to have a bigger female predator because they're taller and more powerful than the men. They're really getting woke with this garbage. Yeah, the Predators have respect for warriors. That's why Danny Glover got the gun at the end of Predator 2. Spoiler alert for a 30-year-old movie. They respect the hunt. That's why they respect their prey. And the fact that people can fight back is an interesting take. They have a sense of honor. And I have to agree with Sargon. It seems like in the Predator series, it makes sense if these were like aristocracy members that were going out to like prove themselves because they're obviously technologically advanced. So there's nerd predators out there somewhere that probably aren't as physically defined and whatnot that are doing technological advancement. So I think that would be interesting to see their culture, but I don't really give a shit about that. I want to see man versus nature, man versus monster, whatever you want to call it. That's an interesting story. And if they want to do this with a woman from a Comanche tribe and they really want the American Indian warrior, fine. Have her entire tribe get wiped out, or they just slaughter her family or whatever. She goes out on her own to fight it, or she's being hunted as the last member of the tribe. That would be way more interesting than what they just proposed. They enslaved race to do their technology. Oh, is that like canon or whatever? I never read any of the books, and I don't really remember any of the comics. Yeah, exactly, James. People tend to overlook the fact that societies have a structure, and if you're outside of that structure, you don't just automatically get accepted when you do one thing. That you can't turn an entire culture around. Plus, neighboring tribes would have seen that as weakness because there's a lot of male-dominated cultures out there, ladies. Sorry to break the news to you, the world's not fair. Braces and glasses, man. Yeah, I could see them doing some SJW shit like that. So yeah, this Predator looks like it's going woke. Disney is just taking a dump everywhere. Speaking of taking a dump on things, though, Amazon's buying MGM for $8.4 billion. Announces plans to reimagine their IPs, which include RoboCop, Stargate, James Bond, and Rocky. I, for one, look forward to trans ableist Rocky. You know, like a wheelchair-bound trans person of color Rocky, who's gonna defeat Apollo Creed with the power of equity. This new James Bond movie looks really, really bad because they've got a black James Bond lady who's going to be better than him and take over. I don't know. It looks stupid. So they're getting a pretty good catalog here. They're getting 12 Angry Men, Basic Instinct, Creed, James Bond, Legally Blonde, Moonstruck, Poltergeist, Raging Bull, RoboCop, Rocky, Silence the Lambs, Stargate, Thelma Louise, Tomb Raider, Magnificent Seven, the Pink Panther, Thomas Crown Affair, and many other icons, as well as 17,000 TV shows, including Fargo and The Handmaid's Tales and Vikings. So get ready for all that stuff to get way more woke on the redos. The real financial value behind the deal is the treasure trove of IP in the deep catalog that we plan to reimagine and develop together with MGM's talented team. It's very exciting and provides many opportunities for high quality storytelling. Now, if they did this well, that's fine. I would like to see Stargate back, but I don't trust them to do that. Stargate had some real feminist episodes too, early on even. And that was disappointing. But I don't have a lot of faith Amazon is going to make this action oriented. Excuse me one second. Sorry, I had to sneeze. I'm unmuted, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think what they're going to do is Vikings, you'll see women taking the lead as the shield maidens, and they'll be smarter than the men. Oh, man. There's a lot of ways they can make this stuff go woke, and it's not good in any respect. You joke about defunding RoboCop, but what they'll do is they'll have him fight gentrification or stand up for some black kids and stop racist cops. It'll get really dumb like that. I'm very proud of the MGM's Lion, which has evoked the golden age of Hollywood. We'll continue to tell its storied history, hopefully, but I doubt it. Opportunity to align MGM's storied history with the Amazon is an inspiring combination. No, it's not. It doesn't inspire me in the least. It makes me really nervous. Amazon's stock price jumped 2% or 0.2%, up $6.27 since yesterday. I think this is very risky. This also they already have access to Lord of the Rings, and now we're giving them Stargate, Raging Bull, RoboCop, Rocky. I don't have that much faith in Amazon to do a whole lot. I'm sure they'll have a couple really good shows. The Boys have been pretty good from what I've heard and what little I've seen of it, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I just think they're gonna make a lot of stuff woke. Yeah, RoboCop 3, absolutely. They already had women take the lead. They were badass shield maidens, but then didn't whine, oh, I'm a woman and men, blah, blah, blah. I think buckle in. You'll be ready for that. MGM has Wizard of Oz rights. For the 1938 movie, Wizard of Oz, the books are all in public domain. The 12 that Baum wrote and Little Wizard Stories, I think was the short story compilation. Those are all public domain. But the 1938 movie, Wizard of Oz with Judy Garland, they still own that. That's their property for a little while longer. So if you want to do a Wizard of Oz movie, you got to stick closer to the books and no ruby slippers. You have to stick with the original silver slippers, that sort of thing. But quite frankly, I think you could make something at least as memorable if you tried. Look at Return to Oz is a very underrated, creepy nightmare movie. Not a kid's film, but a good Oz movie. I love that movie. The Boys is awesome. Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, they were trying to do messaging early on, Costin. I totally agree. And hi, by the way. They dialed it back quite a bit as the show went on, so I'm glad about that. But yeah, it had a couple of episodes where they're like, we'll change the entire culture with girl power. No, it's fucking stupid. I love Return to Oz. That's my favorite Wizard of Oz movie. The silent films were a lot of fun, but very, very dated. And Oliver Hardy was in one of them. I think I know where you're going there, James, and that's naughty. They're already making Lord of the Rings woke. That's so disappointing. All right, let's get on to, let's see. Let's do some Tim Burton news while we're talking movies here. This is Bleeding Fool from Jameson Ashley. So edgy. Tim Burton casts a non-white Wednesday Addams. Yay. Tim Burton has cast a new Wednesday Addams for Netflix's forthcoming live-action Addams Family offshoot drama, Wednesday. Yes Day and grad Jenna Ortega will star in the series from director Tim Burton and showrunners Al Gould and Miles Miller. Smallville into the Badlands. I assume that's this chick. She's kind of cute, but Wednesday is described as a sleuthing, supernaturally infused mystery charting Wednesday Addams' years as a student at Nevermore Academy. Wednesday attempts to master her emerging psychic ability, thwart a monstrous killing spree that has terrorized the local town, and solve the supernatural mystery that embroiled her parents 25 years ago, all while navigating her new and very tangled relationships at Nevermore. Created by cartoonist Charles Addams in 1938, Addams Family has been adapted for TV and film. Obviously, the 60s show is most notable. This sounds dumb. This sounds like girl Harry Potter. Not interested in this. Is the mystery how they got... Was she Latina? from two white parents. Okay, good job on that one. Yep, that looks dumb. I can skip that one now. Thank you. Getting woke. Yeah, she's supposed to look pale as fuck. That's the joke. The family's white. Makes no sense. But they'll probably reimagine them as a mixed race couple of black and Latino or Latinx, whatever the hot button term is, and you'll get the Burger King Kids Club. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, Camel. Yeah, and hi. Yeah, she's psychic now, Quinn. Yeah, the chick's cute. I don't hate the actress or anything. I just think it's a bad idea to do too much of this shit. They're doing a lot of these race swaps, and I think people are getting tired of it. It doesn't match source material, and I think that costs them in the long run. All right, let's talk a little bit of comic book stupidity. So this is John Ostrander. He's a writer in the 80s and 90s. He was a really good writer back then, too. Suicide Squad and Star Wars writer John Ostrander shares meme claiming everyone should be Antifa. What are you trying to tell us, John? I've seen the sex offender registry amount of people in Antifa. You trying to tell me something? Suicide Squad and Star Wars writer John Ostrander shared a meme claiming everyone should be Antifa. You can go fuck yourself, John. If you're unfamiliar with Ostrander, he had prolific runs on Suicide Squad and even created the show's now iconic leader in Amanda Waller. Amanda Waller's a piece of shit. He also wrote Star Wars Legacy, a series that took place hundreds of years after Return of the Jedi. A lot of his work at DC was fantastic. He made some of the great books from the 80s and 90s, Suicide Squad and The Spectre, tons of good books. He's a really solid writer, so this is stupid. Here he is with James Gunn, who directed the Suicide Squad. And I want to do some sit-ups, dude. You're getting a little too old for that, being that tubby. Yeah, he said Ostrander's run on Suicide Squad was the biggest influence on. So of course it was. It was the best run on Suicide Squad. So do they have this meme? Here's what Ostrander said. There is no organization called Antifa. I think there is. World War II veterans were Antifa. No, they weren't. Antifa had a specific meaning in the 30s. It was a communist organization that fought with the brown shirts. Don't give me that shit. Anyone? No, that's not true. There's no membership card. You don't need a membership card to be a dumbass. Anyone could be Antifa. Yeah, any dumbass. Everyone should. Nope. So, yeah, it's not surprising that he would post this. He's a big lefty. But this is factually incorrect and just stupid. According to a report from Politico, federal authorities have been warning state and local officials since early 2016 that leftist extremists knows Antifa have become increasingly confrontational and dangerous so much that the Department of Homeland Security formally classified their activities as domestic terrorist violence, according to interviews and confidential law enforcement documents. New Jersey, I think, is the only state to come out and directly call them that. Multiple bills have been introduced to Congress to classify them as a domestic organization. However, none of them have passed as of yet. Bill Cassidy of Louisiana introduced a bill in July 2019 calling for a designation. Representative Mark Green of Tennessee introduced a bill in August 2019 strongly condemned them. As more recently as March 26th, Representative Lauren Boebert of Colorado introduced a bill calling for the designation of them as organization. Oh, look. Oh, wait. Did he destroy books against communism? Interesting. Seems a little treacherous. Even Bill Barr said that in 2020. They were a bad group. So, yeah, this is not surprising from John Ostrander. A lot of the comic professionals have in the past come out and said they support this organization. So it's disappointing to see, but I'm not surprised. So yeah, I just think you're endorsing a bunch of degenerates and weirdos. There's a lot of felons and perverts in that organization. I don't know why you'd want to encourage people to join that. So I find that suspicious. The first Suicide Squad movie was total dog shit. Margot Robbie is hot, but yeah, it's kind of sad. She seems kind of like a bitch. Yeah, so disappointing that another one would be preaching the greatness of them. Can't say their name too many times, I get hit. All right, let's talk about some stupid now. Let me get a drink of water. I was debating on which one to address last because these last two kind of amused me. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Charles Morrison. It tells me that for some reason on here. I didn't know it did that. Shows how much I pay attention. Fast and Furious star John Cena apologizing for calling Taiwan a country. You know, a place with its own leadership that doesn't want to be part of China. He had to apologize for that, like a good little collaborator. Beijing. This is from Reuters. U.S. wrestling superstar and actor John Cena apologized to Chinese fans on Tuesday after calling Taiwan a country during an interview to promote his latest movie, Fast and Furious 9. Speaking to Taiwanese television TVBS earlier this month, Cena said Taiwan would be the first country to see his latest Fast and Furious. So he's talking to a Taiwanese television station. And then, that was a no-no, saying that there would be a country. China regards Taiwan as a province, an assertion that most of the self-ruled democratic island rejects. I made one mistake. I'm very, very sorry for this mistake, he said in Mandarin in a video posted on his account on Weibo, which is a Chinese social media site, a Twitter-like microblog popular in China. It's very much like Twitter or Facebook over there, but it's strictly controlled by the Chinese government. Don't ever think it's not. I love and respect China and the Chinese people. Apparently you don't love and respect the Taiwanese people you were talking to in that interview, you fucking disingenuous shitbag. Cena joins a long list of international celebrities who have incurred the wrath of an increasingly nationalistic Chinese public over their comments about Taiwan, Hong Kong, or Xinjiang. Now, Hong Kong is Chinese. Whether we like it or not, Britain gave that back to China back in the 90s. Taiwan, however, they just sort of like, you belong to us. Companies have also come under fire with several airlines and hotels apologizing to China in recent years for listing Taiwan as a country on their booking websites. Cena's apology was not enough for many mainland Chinese netizens. Please use Mandarin to say Taiwan is part of China, otherwise we won't accept the apology. It's never good enough. Read a comment left on Cena's apology video that received the most likes. Neither did the apology go down well in the United States. Could someone please tell John Cena to locate his spine, please? Wrote Matt Crowlin, manager of American news website Boston.com on Twitter. Good for him. Grow some fucking balls, you pussy. Even former U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo chimed in. On your bowing to the Chinese Communist Party, I don't see you, Pompeo wrote on Twitter. Relations between you can't see me or something is a Cena reference from wrestling, I guess. Relations between U.S. and China tanked under Pompeo during the presidency of Republican Donald Trump. Yeah, because they stood up to China. Taiwan's foreign minister declined to comment because he wants to live. The movie has been a box office hit in mainland China since its opening on May 21st. Over the last weekend, China accounted for $135 million of the movie's $162 million in revenue, which is probably why he's kowtowing like a bitch. And the fact that he apologized in Mandarin was a big slap in the face, I think, to Taiwan. And it's fucking disgusting. He could go to hell. Fuck this collaborator. He's just another fucking sellout looking the other way to China's atrocities and their military buildup along the Taiwanese border. China's been making moves against everybody in the South China Sea. They're building up military along the Taiwanese border from the look of it. And they've been saber rattling with Australia. Fuck this guy. Fuck these people. As far as I'm concerned, he's as much a collaborator as LeBron James and every other piece of shit that looked the other way to atrocities. Taiwan is where the elected Chinese government fled after the communists took over. Yep, Taiwan is the legitimate Chinese government. It absolutely is. And that's something that people forget, is that when the revolution happened with Mao, the original Chinese leadership fled to Taiwan. It was the only place that didn't end up going full red commie, and it became a separate country. Yeah, Taiwan's a country. Fuck off. That's bullshit. Yeah, I don't care if I never have to get to go to China. So John Cena is just bending over and lubing up his butthole for the Chinese because he wants to make more money there. Just like sneaker salesmen in the NBA. Fuck these guys. I don't support these kind of collaborators. They're looking the other way to the Uyghur massacres and kissing China's ass. Fuck them. Fuck this unpatriotic sack of shit who doesn't give a fuck about human rights. That's my take on that. I think that these people know less than what Henry Ford did when he went and built factories for Hitler. The human rights violations in China are egregious, and the world needs to stop looking the other way, like Neville Chamberlain and all the others did back in the 30s. This is that same type of shit, and they're just letting China walk all over everybody, and nobody seems to give a fuck. They're just taking their ass pounding and accepting it. You know what? I don't really care if I lose subscribers over that. I'm sick of this anti-freedom shit that we seem to be going down. But enough politics. Let's make fun of Heavy Metal Magazine. So Heavy Metal tweeted some stuff today. Here is an article on it. Heavy Metal Magazine mocks fans not happy with the new armored Tarna cover. I don't know how to pronounce this bitch's name. People have been telling me I'm pronouncing it wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't look at that and not see Tarna. Apparently, her species is known as Terrakians. I think I got that right. And I've been saying it wrong. I'm trying. Whatever. Heavy Metal Magazine decided to mock fans who expressed their distaste over a recently revealed cover of the publisher's 6-issue Tarna miniseries, which I've been reviewing, and they're pretty good, from writer Stephanie Phillips. Heavy Metal Magazine first shared the cover on Instagram to promote an interview with Stephanie Phillips with Comic Book Resources about the finale and her plans for Tarna and the new armor. So here's the new outfit. It's kind of generic looking. It's just plate mail. 30-page finale, guys. That means they're probably charging $5 for it. I can't tell. Too small print. 30 whole pages. Remember when we had 32 pages? If you're unfamiliar with her, it's the official Heavy Metal's official description reads, Tarna is the last living Terrakian and the guardian of our universe, a hybrid being born of the great warrior Tarnak in a dying universe. He banged an entire universe, guys. Tarna is the personified form of one of the youngest universes in the multiverse. They added with her flying steed Avis and armed with her sword Novera? I don't know. Tarna travels from world to world, protecting the universe from the threat of I don't know. The embodiment of evil. The embodiment of evil. Tarna removes all the weeds that threaten the health of her universe, which is a cosmic garden from her point of view. All right, that's a very flowery, weird way of saying she's some hot chick with a thong. She's physically depicted in a bikini outfit with a pauldron and a gauntlet on her right arm. However, that changed in Tarna 5, where she put on a full suit of armor. And that got some hate, I guess. But one really cool, this is Phillips talking, one really cool element of the finale was getting to design new battle armor for Tarna. Al somebody and Brian somebody created some of the coolest armor for Tarna, and I hope we get to see that beyond the issues we worked on together. It's a cool look. And it looked all right. That cover sucks, by the way. As noted by Phillips, Tarna does don the armor with the attention in the interiors of Tarna number 5. She does so after being severely injured in 4 in a fight with the giant serpent. Yeah, that fight was badass. In that issue, while fighting the serpent, she was wearing her iconic look. There is a lot of nudity in these books. The first issue had one booby shot, and I heard some guy like, oh, it's kind of over the top. Grow up, pussy. After recovering from her injury, whatever, she puts on some armor, and it looks okay. And a response to a number of fans on their initial Instagram post, Heavy Metal mocked them. One user wrote, they finally cover she up. Somebody used Google Translate. Heavy Metal responded, most people have more than one outfit, it turns out. Okay, yeah, that's why Superman wears 8 million different costumes every other month. Another wrote, Rip Tarna. Heavy Metal responded, does changing clothes kill people? We have no idea. Do you change your underwear? That explains so much. These are customers that you're pissing off, or potential customers. This guy wrote, I'm torn while I generally despise bikini armor as a whole. I also have a pretty severe disdain for the complete changing of iconic characters and looks. At what point does it become an entirely different character, and where exactly is the ridiculous line for scantily clad heroes? To which Heavy Metal responds, have you read the book to understand the context of the outfit, or are you just making assumptions? Trust us, read it and you will understand. Also, people should change clothes and looks. That's natural. The snippy responses are incredibly rude. And these are official accounts. You can see the blue check marks here. So this is not going over well with the fandom. It shows whoever their social media managers are probably need fired. You don't talk to customers like this. You say, well, read the issue and you'll get some context. It's a lot of fun. We think you'll like it. You don't turn around and snipe at people like this. Not in a failing industry. Comics are on the downswing, you fucking morons. As noted, the change in outfit doesn't really make sense from a story point, as she goes from getting injured by a giant serpent to fighting a completely different enemy. Yeah, she fought the serpent, got injured, and then went and fought a bunch of humans. Then she could easily just cut through. She's more of a cosmic level character. You're telling me that like Thanos has to go put on some jams to go and fight a bunch of like human soldiers? That's fucking dumb. She's that level of cosmic power. Nevertheless, Heavy Metal would use this line in multiple responses. Yeah, they did this a lot. They'd take other things would take to another level to follow up on an Instagram post. They put this on Twitter too. It has come to our attention that some of you are confused that Tarna has the ability to change clothes. So, to address this, that is not a sentence, and where's your capitalization, comma, and the rest of this sentence. This is a fragment on every level. We'd like to remind you that you too can change clothes, and to please do so, especially the underwear. We've gotten complaints from the neighbors. That's an official response. Needless to say, the fans weren't happy with this response either. One person wrote, the change sucks, respect your fans. And they responded, no, we don't want fans like that. We are good. Thank you. Well, you're going to lose a lot of fans over this. We've seen that happen time and time again. This guy said, characters can change costumes. It happens all the time. I just wish this didn't have to be something political when it changed costumes. Then change it. No need to bash revealing art or old outdated values because that bullshit reason. Want to do it then for artistic reasons and leave it at that. Plus, making fun of fans that give you money gives a very immature look to the company. Please learn from mistakes of NA Comics idiots making fun of fans to the point a single Japanese comic outsells whole of Marvel and DC. We did not change it for any political reasons. We did it because it made sense to the story. No, it did. It gave the character a chance to grow. This is all pretty clear if you read the series. I did read the series. It doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, you want to put her in armor? Just say, we wanted her to look like she's going into battle. Fine. They didn't do it for that. There's full-on bush nudity in this, and she wears a thong through the entire thing. This was a storyline designed to change the character. It's blatantly obvious. It had nothing to do with the story. Otherwise, she would have worn the armor when fighting the 3 monsters that she fought in issues 3 and 4. Sorry, as noted above, this doesn't make sense. The new people running Heavy Metal must really hate their fans. Why do you hate us? This guy wrote. To which they responded, think about your question realistically. You are an adult. We assume Would it make sense for a company that works so hard to create and bring new art to hate its fans? Yeah, we've been seeing it for the past like 5 years. Or are you just uncomfortable with change and growth? Do you hate us because you've grown out of the box? Because we've grown out of the box and your comfort level? Sit with that. Oh, we love our fans, but they can either grow up or stay behind, clinging to an idealized past. Heavy metal used to be edgy. This is not edgy. This is golden oldies. This is old people using their newfound property to shit all over their existing fan base and to lecture them and moralize. Cartoon lady wear more clothes now. How PP become big PP if can't see lady skin? Outrage. Basically Pearl Harbor. Change lady back. Me only achieve orgasm if cartoon lady not wear many clothes. Not see real lady since kicked out of comic store in 97 for harassment. Stupid Stacy. She just mad because she lesbian. Me have big PP and drive cool truck. Twitch. Heavy Metal responded is sadly close to some of the responses. No, it's angry fans that don't want to see the character costume change. That's it. All you gotta do is say it was for a story arc. Her costume will change occasionally. It's not a big deal. Check out the story. That's all they had to say. Instead, they go on. They keep talking. No, you relax. Being afraid of a mob of sociopaths to try to cancel every drop of sexualization is concerning. Your so-called going forward is nothing but a cheap excuse. I agree. Since new armor style is so old-fashioned, moving forward, my balls. I respect you for no reason other than this. No one is afraid here. The change in outfit is part of the storyline. As an author, I'm sure you understand that. Don't condescend to your audience. If you read the series, you'd know how silly your comment is. I read the series. It would have made more sense for her to armor up when fighting the giant monsters than the army of people. She could cut through the people. The giant monsters were actually challenging. So, no, it doesn't make sense. So, good job bounding into comics, covering this pretty well. Here's what they put on Twitter. I archived it. They actually followed up that previous comment about the underwear with P.S. showers between changing is highly encouraged. And they got some support. There's a couple of pussy little betas in here. And this guy said, apparently it's easier for her to change clothes than it is for you to ship the books you still owe me that I ordered in January. Oh, maybe you should focus on your customer service. Of course, however, Tarna in a different costume is like Superman in a bathrobe. To be fair, Tarna in the same outfit for 40 years might need to stay cleaner for that. There's not enough costume there to worry about that. This bullshit's going on again. And it's affecting heavy metal, which back in the 80s was edgelord central. They were pushing the boundaries of comics, and they've even been doing that up until very recently. This is new for them, and it's not a good sign. Heavy metal got bought in 2019, and I didn't notice any of this shit until recently. I was shocked by this because a lot of their comics have been really good, and it's really disappointing. This kind of reminds me of what Bethesda did at E3 a couple years ago. Yeah, that's a really good point, Pete. And via my last comment, this is much, much worse. I kind of think so. I think these guys have really, really hurt themselves here. The movie will always be classic. The old magazines will always be classic. There was some great stuff in heavy metal. Some of it was a little too edgy. You know, I thought they were trying a little too hard at times, but there were some amazing artists came out of heavy metal. Some great crybaby shit. Their comics are not selling that many copies as it is. They're selling, I think, about 5,000 copies per, from what I saw. That is minuscule numbers, and this is going to kill them. And they have some great titles. Cold Dead War was good. Tarna was actually pretty good. Even though the armor made no sense, the story was still pretty good. Stephanie Phillips isn't that bad of a writer when she tries. And they like I said, they showed nudity. There was a pretty interesting story, lots of action and adventure. I like that. Sun Eater was really good. I haven't read Brooklyn Gladiator, but that one looked pretty good. So they've got good titles, but this is going to tank their sales. And this is a dumb move on their part. So I was really surprised to see that and very disappointed. So that being said, that was the last article I had for today. Give it a minute if you guys have any questions, but that's going to probably wrap this one up. I want to thank everybody for coming out. It's awesome to see you guys. They're weirdly obsessive about other people's underwear. I was thinking that too. And it really did read like they hired somebody's 14-year-old kid to be their social media manager, because the comments are so sophomoric and juvenile. I couldn't believe they were actually talking to customers like this. That is so disgusting. And they seem really eager to respond to the every little bit of criticism. So I don't know. It really looked bad. Sorry, Johnny, I didn't see your notifications. I was taking a nap before I streamed. I'm exhausted. Frosted asked me if I wanted to be on the corner tonight, and I couldn't do it because I've just had too much going on. I'm already really tired. Might end up crashing out. I'm hoping to get through Monkey in the morning, but I might take another nap here. So yeah, I'm real disappointed with Heavy Metal. I hope the magazine and the comics are still good, but this really makes me gun shy to order more stuff from them. And they were doing this prequel series to Night of the Living Dead called The Rise. It was written by George Romero's son, and it looked pretty interesting. But I already got the first and second issue. I think I got the second issue. Are questions as evil as this last company? Maybe, I don't know. Old man sitting up nap. Yeah, more or less. It was one of those involuntary ones like, well, I'm a little unconscious. So yeah, I'm worried that Heavy Metal may have shot themselves in the foot. And if they don't issue some kind of apology or fire that social media manager, they're going to continue to lose customers. And it's really disappointing. Really hate for them to go under. I would want to talk a bit deeper about the series one of these days. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, definitely should hang out sometime, man. Sorry, I've just been super busy with my mom having a stroke, or 3 now, and having to help dad out so much, and some other personal drama that I'm not going to get into online. There's been just overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that needs done, and I'm tired all the time. I do too, Viking. Heavy Metal was always the cool, edgy, because it was very heavy metal, very rock and roll, very pushing the line, edgy. And this is beta male shit. I don't know what this soy-filled crap they're doing on the internet is. Because their comics have been really good. Like I said, they got some really cool action titles, some really interesting stuff. And their magazine has been consistently pretty solid over the years. But this really makes me nervous if I should even support them after that. So we'll see how it goes. I'll pick up the stuff I've already ordered, but beyond that, if they don't address this, then I'll probably drop their books and save some money. I agree, Pete. I do need a hot Asian assistant. Unfortunately, that's why I haven't been releasing videos as much. I just don't have the time. Doing Monkey in the morning is about all I can really commit to. And that's because that's late at night. My daytimes are pretty well packed. I know, right? I said the same thing, Costin. It was very unfortunate timing. I did not approve. She did not fill out any forms requesting this. She just went ahead and did it. Save money for the comic I'm going to make. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, if you're making a comic, let me know when you're going to launch it, and I'll give you a review or whatever. Give you some publicity for whatever that's worth. I have a very tiny channel. But yeah, if you're going to put out a comic, I'll pick it up. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up here, I think. thank you everybody for coming out, and thank you for your generosity. The donations are greatly appreciated. I really, really appreciate it. It helps out quite a bit, and hopefully I could get this HDMI thing figured out. I'm trying to get bigger. It's not that easy anymore, especially because I swear a lot on these streams. My other channel doesn't seem to want to grow quite as much as I need it to. But yeah, I should be on Monkey in the Morning later if you want to listen to politics. But beyond that, we'll be back here next week with more of the same. Like, share, and subscribe, all that crap. I should have some videos up tonight or early tomorrow. You're not wrong, James. But yeah, hopefully I'll have some more videos out. I've got some mostly done. I just got to do one last listen through for editing and then put together, and I should have a Patreon video up then as well. I was hoping to have it done today, but things ended up running late. Thanks, rush hour. So, yeah. But here's a link to the main channel. And as always, much appreciated, guys. You guys take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next broadcast, wherever that may be.